This is a public service announcement. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are for comedy purposes only and should not be taken seriously. The Never a Straight Answer podcast advised that the information covered in the show should not be used for educational purposes, nor as a guide for carrying out such crimes linked to the subject matter of the episode, no matter how fucking awesome it is. Gaz and Taylor do not take responsibility for the following: UFO encounters or possible linked abductions, committing or being a victim of serial murder, falling down conspiracy rabbit holes, fits of psychotic rage, anger or confusion, or going postal on friends, family or co-workers. The boys advise the use of THC or edibles when subjected to the Never a Straight Answer podcast. We hope you enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joined is the original alien hunter. He's known for skulking around in dark clothing. Oh, yeah. It's Mr. Taylor.
Welcome, one and all.
Welcome indeed. Welcome to another epic edition of the Never a Straight Answer podcast. Whoop, whoop. Thanks for joining us, new listeners and repeat offenders from around the globe. The globe, not the flat one.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, we don't live on that one.
We live on the globey one. Yeah. That spherical thing in the sky there floating about. Anyway, not the topic of conversation for tonight. Yeah, but we do appreciate you. Thanks for joining in. Oh, you're all right there, son.
Oh, yeah, just a bit of corona, don't worry about it.
Just fucking hell, don't be saying shit like that. Anyway, what have you been up to apart from coughing your head off?
Dealing with me fucking car.
Oh, your car problems. He goes, he's had issues this week.
Yeah.
And but he messages me the other day, I've got a car sorted out, I'll be down for recording. So I said, all right, sweet, what have you got? Big, long, white thing. What, a limousine?
No.
Fucking limousine you describing there, boy.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's not a limousine. No. It's nice, though.
Yeah.
Done all right there.
Yeah.
Done
nice
all right.
Mate, Steve. Nice one.
Cheers,
mate.
Steve.
Yeah.
Well, we've been sorting out guests for the upcoming episodes.
Yes.
Which I'm quite looking forward to, because I always enjoy having a guest on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
And the ones we've done have been quite cool, I think.
Oh,
and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the guests we've got coming on, to be honest. Lots of different varying topics. We could get him.
Oh, we could.
One of the episodes we've got coming up. Yeah, potentially. We could get some mediums on.
Yeah.
And some smalls and some larges.
Yeah.
Dad jokes. So funny. My cat caught a mouse.
Yeah.
Little shit.
Yeah, he's giving you a little present.
No, it's just, it was like that. What the fuck? Bringing stuff in the house for?
Well, it'd be worse if he brought in a dog.
I was saying there, go out and fetch me something good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you want to do is get a fucking job.
Yeah.
Is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Fucking loafing around here, expecting me waiting on your hand and foot.
Well, yeah, hand and foot.
It's like, going, feed me. And I'm like, no, you can catch your own dinner now. You've proven it.
Well, that is true.
No, I just don't like it. I mean, I know it's only nature and stuff like that, but it's like the actual idea of them, killing. It's just not nice. So.
Well, if you kill it, you should eat it.
Kill it, you eat it.
Yeah.
So,
you shouldn't have fed it then. You should have just left that mouse.
She's fed enough, mate, that cat.
You should have left that mouse in there and gone, you're eating that.
Cat gets fed more than me. Anyway, I've been trying to be a bit creative as well this week, so I've been trying to get into some bits and pieces, as well as doing bits for the podcast. But, obviously looking forward to season 2 of The Boys, which is coming out on the 4th of September on Amazon Prime. Check it out. It's all good. Other than that, what else have you been up to apart from getting your car sorted?
Looking into corn.
Corn, yeah. You were telling me about this before, and it actually does sound quite interesting. But,
Yeah, well,
It's a bit long-winded.
it is. It's basically they found old corn, the original corn.
The corn.
The original,
the virgin birth.
Yeah, because they found it in a site that has been found in Turkey.
We're talking about corn as in the grain, the plant. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, and the genetics are basically changed, and there's theories that the way our species has changed is supposed because of corn.
So
supposedly in some aspects of it.
So they're basically saying that I understood where you were coming from with that sort of the food that we consume today. And no, when you were describing it to me before, it made sense up until that point where it's like, well, the food that we're eating today is not genetically the same as this corn that they found. Yeah. Which has been perfectly preserved, and they've been able to test the DNA against something that's modern. Right? And they found that most of what we're eating in corn circles is corn circles.
Funny enough, because that's when all the when
all the process the DNA started changing of the corn.
Well, no, when we started growing stuff and planting stuff was originated. It's supposed to be from this area. We started actually getting into the
it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So the suggestions that this corn is not natural for this environment, and it was brought here and it was used for genetic changes of the human race.
There's a lot going on in that.
Well, but there is quite a bit of science behind it to say, you know what, you might be on the button.
The science, right? Well, I've yet to see this science, so we'll have to have a look into this. But it seems a bit funky. If you ask me.
Well, I only just found it out today, and I'm just having a little read of it.
Oh no, it's interesting, like I say, but it's a bit. I mean, it's one of them where I kind of need to know a bit more into it before I start committing. Going forward. 100th episode. Yeah. Not very far off. Are you all right?
Yeah.
A bit of a. Have you had a drink?
Get
a drink.
I think the frog's in there or something.
You needed some banana milkshake, and they won't bring him one.
I believe you could make that.
I've got it in the fridge. You should have just had one there. Fan art.
Deal with my coffee.
Fan art. I don't know if people understand what I say. 100th episode. We've got. We've had our. We've got our 100th episode coming up. I'm sick of saying that. But we've been asking people to send in their artwork, right? Yeah, we have. And we've had some stuff. We have. Really, really happy with what we've been sent. Yes. And we will be revealing on the 100th, so,
Yes, we will.
But thank you for those who have sent in. If you want to get involved.
Great stuff, man.
And send us something. You can send it digitally.
Yeah.
So, do something on your tablet if you've got a drawing pad on there. Or paint or something, or draw or something, anything. You can do it about
any way you
want. The show itself, or one of the topics we do, and you can email it to us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com, or you can post it. If you DM us, we'll let you know how you go about that. And if you want to submit a question for us for the 100th episode, you can go over to our website at neverstraightanswer.co.uk. And there's a page there for the 100th episode where you can do that.
Yeah.
And submit your questions.
So get your ass over there now.
Also, one last thing about the 100th. We've got a raffle happening. It's all legit. We don't have anything to do with the draw.
Nope.
It's all taken care of by a website called Raffle.
Yep.
You can get over to the link. We'll leave it in the description. You can get yourself a raffle ticket and be in to win £100 in or dollars or whatever currency you're rolling in.
Yeah.
In Amazon vouchers.
Oh, yeah.
So, worth it. And we've sold quite a lot of tickets, so get over quick.
Before they all go.
And then, if you want to be in for a chance, only a quid.
For a quid, 100 quid for a quid.
Yeah. Worth it, if you ask me.
Definitely.
Well, there you go. Plug-in over. Well, we've got an advert coming up in a bit, but well, got a question for you.
Ooh, question.
Can you beat this week's riddle?
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Riddle you, riddle, piddle.
Is that the riddle, right?
No, it's not.
What?
Right, okay, no. Right, well, you've not done amazing.
I haven't done amazing, no. I've done good on the first one, but after that it went down. Yeah, smash you like a car crash, Bobs.
Well, we're going to give you a riddle this week. Yeah. We're going to see how you get on.
Okay.
Right, if you know the answer, because we had some YouTube comments say they got it.
Okay.
Pretty quick.
All right then.
So if you're playing at home and you want to play with a riddle,
try and beat me.
Try and get it in. Right. So this week's riddle, are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like I should have some
drum roll, please.
No, more like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. Right.
Yeah.
So, what is right and never wrong?
Me.
I knew you were going to say that, and it's not the answer.
Oh, that's bollocks! I'm telling you, it's me.
What is right and never wrong?
What is right and never wrong?
Yeah. Well, while you're thinking about that, I'm going to tell the lovely people at home about Love Hemp.
I think I got a good chance on this one.
Well, there'll be a link in the description. Love Hemp products are created 100% THC free.
Oh, yeah.
The third-party tested under strict laboratory conditions.
They've
got a guaranteed CBD count, yeah. And basically, they make a load of products.
Yeah, they do. A whole list of them.
Oh, yeah, from oils, sprays, vapes, chocolates, jellies.
Yes.
Beauty products, all laced with CBD.
Good for your health.
Apparently, really good for your health.
Yeah, definitely, man. I recommend it.
Check it out. Link in the description. You follow the link, you can get 50% off.
So, hey, not bad.
Hell yeah.
You know, you're not going to get that anywhere else.
So, remember, what is right, but never wrong.
Told you, mate.
That's your riddle, and you'll be. We'll come back to that later in the show. This week's topic, though, it's quite an interesting one. We've covered it a few times, but we try to do this, and we'll try and get kind of interesting, tidbits, interesting stories we find, a bit more information every time. Yeah. And the MIB stories, they're quite cool, because they're a bit like chilling at most. Do you know what I mean?
Threatening as well.
A bit threatening. Yeah, well, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago with the Mothman.
We did.
And how MIB showed up there. I mean, they were pretty much turn up wherever. Do you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? The film Men in Black, it's one of those films where it's like, popularised.
It is. Do you think, do you think they did it to try and promote the real... like putting stuff in your head promote, but it's possible.
Yeah, I think they've been doing that for a long time with grey aliens and the whole concept of UFOs. Yeah, I think has been put into the subconscious of social popular culture.
So it's not as frightening if
exactly. Yeah, I mean, like I say, 50 years ago, if you put a grey alien in front of a native, they'd be fucking shit themselves, yeah. Nowadays, they'd be more likely to just say something dumb like,
I knew it looked like that.
Take me to your leader. Or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like... It'd be like that. It was so kind of awash with this image of an alien and what to expect.
Yeah, when it's all different.
And I mean, it could be totally... What unlike anything we've ever imagined, but it's like there's only so many possibilities. We do kind of take liberties on the whole humanoid idea, especially in science fiction that we create. Aliens are always kind of hominoid, two-legged, two arms.
Could you call it, in certain aspects, racist because we put them under as all the same banner?
Well, not always, but I mean, it's like Futurama and The Simpsons. They kind of like look at aliens in a way where they don't put them in that category. They put them as like slimy, like or
yeah, they have
variations.
Race.
No, The Simpsons did, but like Futurama has lots of different races he encounter, and a lot of them are like and even Rick and Morty to an extent with like cloud gas forms and and different ways of thinking about what an alien could be, but. Then again, it's still in our consciousness. It's still out there as a topic where we're used to seeing these things. We're a bit more desensitized nowadays.
Yeah,
and I think you're right in some ways. I mean, going back to like if you want to go deep, then Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah. We've talked about how there's links to there's so many Easter eggs in that film.
Oh yeah, links to other actual
like what was that project that was going on at the time. It was like all the secret operations.
Are you on? You're not on about paperclip. You're on about.
Come on, he's got it.
It
doesn't matter. On all the crates at the site in
Manhattan.
No. It doesn't matter. Stop thinking about it. Yeah. But in that film, there's like loads of Easter eggs, like where these logos on crates and stuff like that. Where you think, ooh, that's a bit kind of like. The average person wouldn't know what that was, really.
Yeah. And the actual guy who did Project Blue Book, he was actually in it.
I do think that there is kind of this, like, let's drip feed them the information.
Yeah.
But, I mean, popular culture, UFO, conspiracy theories, the Men in Blacks always seem to show up. These, dressed in black suits, claiming to be quasi-government agents. They harass... basically UFO witnesses intimidate. Into keeping quiet about what they've seen. It's something, sometimes implied that there might be aliens themselves.
Well, yeah, actually, I've heard it on that it's twofold. Half of them are the aliens and half of them aren't, because it's down to what they look like as well, because a lot of the time...
Well, what about, like, tailors? What about your tailor? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're an alien. You're not going to be like... We've just discussed there, I mean, we're taking it, it's a bit racist there, saying that, all aliens have two legs and all can fit into our primitive, togs.
So we know ghosts are aliens.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And we're trying to fit them up for a black suit.
Yeah.
Woohoo, haha. You know what I mean? It's like... We were talking about Will Smith and the Men in Black. And we were just saying, like, it's been proven. He says "woohoo, haha" in literally every one of his songs. Yeah. But you weren't having it at first, so
no. But you, hoo-hoo, ha-ha.
I've shown him the way.
Yeah, he has down the rabbit's hole,
down to the woohoos. Woohoo, haha. Anyway, do I think usually the idea of the Men in Black, it's a generic sort of term used for. Unusual threatening behaviour on an individual by a government agent, sort of thing, and it's usually people who have had alien encounters, though.
Yeah, but the big thing is on the alien thing. It's more likely that you're likely to get an MIB agent who is alien, and the reason why is because most people who see him say no eyebrows, like bald-headed, like no hair, no features on their face, their eyes wouldn't blink, their lips were rosy red, their cheeks were, and they look exactly the same as the donut who's standing right next to him. And it's like, well, yeah, and even like a couple of years ago, the Canada one where they walked through. So do you think?
Yeah, but no, but how much?
On film.
I know. I wonder though. I've seen a lot of kind of footage of Men in Black or supposed Men in Black on film. Yeah. Right. And there was one. Again, I'm not going to say who put it out on YouTube, but it was a notorious bullshitter. Yeah,
okay, all right, I think I know where you're going with
who puts
this one.
out videos about people being time travelers, or I've seen the year 5000 and it was underwater and all this bullshit. They put notorious and the Express pick up on it. Which the Express is again.
They must have shitloads of money in a stupid,
terrible, terrible fucking sources on the stories, but they have fucking superb headlines. If only they were true.
Yeah. That's so true.
So I mean, sometimes I question the legitimacy of these videos. Is what I'm saying. So it's
you should always question it. Always.
But I don't necessarily. That doesn't necessarily mean that I don't believe that there are a shadow sort of agency that deal in these sorts of things. Now, I mean, generally speaking, okay, right. If two guys showed up at your door, both dressed in black suits, right, regardless of what they look like, they've already got an identity because they're both in matching suits.
Yeah.
So you've already put them in a even if they don't look physically alike.
Yeah.
Your brain's gonna match them Yeah, it's going to say 2 guys. They both look the same. They were in black suits.
Yeah.
All the features.
Yeah.
Out the window. Yeah. Do you know what? I think it's a diversionary tactic. It's a government.
You reckon?
Yeah, possibly. It's like the government, at the end of the day, send any 2 government officials to your door. They're going to shit.
Weird as fuck.
They're going to shit people up. Do you know what I mean? And especially if you've had
that.
But we'll get into this in a bit because we're going to look into a couple of stories where it's been military officials who've seen UFOs or had encounters with the Men in Black. And, basically it's, they look like... They talk about kind of giving up top secret information, and that's why they don't want people talking.
Oh yeah, well, I got a couple with who were just ufologists who were just looking out, and actually one where they just had an accident.
Oh, there you go. This is the thing. I mean, it's like they don't just visit anyone, but I mean, what I'm getting at is it even goes as high as people in top-ranking positions will get visits.
Yeah, anyone who's got something on them, they will want back to the proofs there that they don't exist.
If you're talking and you've got,
and you will.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's like we're talking, but we've never had an encounter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but if we started having an
true.
encounter and started telling everybody about our encounter, then I'm pretty sure that...
You mean like security?
Well, security, is that what you think's happened to him?
Well, no, he had a couple... About 2-3 months beforehand, he was saying there was a guy parked outside his yard.
And now he's gone. Now he's gone missing.
Yeah, then all of a sudden all this shit is happening around him.
It's a conspiracy, folks, and telling you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope you're all right, Tyler, wherever you are.
Get back on, man.
Well, I don't know.
Apparently he's supposed to be getting back on, but...
Unsure about his status at the moment.
Yeah, he's one of them. 10 years down the line, he might come back and
he might come back in 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, yeah.
Well, anyways, but I mean, people turning up, shadowing you, following you, parking up outside your house.
Yeah, playing games.
The average person, I think, would notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, though, if you were kind of like a bit of a recluse ufologist, stayed in your house, were a bit kind of conspiracy anyway.
Oh, I don't know. What I mean? I think I remember 1967
Would you notice?
ufologist who thought he was being followed, and he actually took a picture of this guy about third day afterwards. And it's a pretty famous picture of a guy just leaning against a shop, just looking over.
Yeah.
I think, was he smoking a cigarette? I don't think he was smoking a cigarette, but like that was like one of the first ever pictures to be shown of a supposed man in black. But yet again, it could be just an agent. It could have been a copper.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you
following,
not think the word black means something in terms of like he's an agent, but he's a black ops agent?
Ops, yeah.
Like, I mean, the word black, when it's used in, that sort of context, it means like undercover, not seen, or, whatever.
Yeah.
It kind of...
You ain't going to see me or you're going to die.
Yeah, it's like, gone fucking dark.
60
do you know what I mean? It's like... some people, like I say, see... Yeah, we've talked about MIB are the aliens, and they're just trying to keep everything under wraps. Do you know? It's basically many times that it's they've appeared. They've basically had humanoid elements, like we've said.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. Do you know what I mean? They could just have employ really bizarre looking humans.
Well, no.
Or maybe they don't think they look bizarre. Maybe it's just like I say, because they've been kind of panicked and scared and already had one encounter.
Yeah, but the thing is on that is the aliens that supposedly we've listed, we've met, like the Nordics, the Whites, the Greys, and all them. They are all humanoid. They've all been humanoid. I don't think I've seen one. No, tell a lie. There's one I've seen that hasn't. That's supposed to be flying rapidly fast.
Rapid.
Yeah, it's like a little snake, and it goes. He's caught on film as well.
Sorry.
It was filmed about 2 years ago. There was a number of them. Cameras were picking them up. There were these like little fucking darty things going round, and it's still to this day they don't know what it is, but it's gone really quiet on that.
Right, okay.
I haven't heard anything. I might have
a look around
into it, yeah. Again, yeah.
Well, I think, in terms of there's a lot of evidence to say that these guys do exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of agents from a government agency who are sent to investigate these things, I think there are departments that do operate. You know, whether they're a kind of stylish Men in Black operation like we're led to believe in the woohoo ha Will Smith movie.
Well, you don't walk up to the door looking like a tramp, do you? You know what I mean? They'd be closing the door back on your face.
Turn up in a black suit, sharp as anything, don't you? Straight away, you know, they've already give away the dress code.
Well, they've already give away as well one of the tricks, because someone will obey someone with a suit than someone who's wearing jeans. More. It's the same as if I walked outside now, put a high-vis jacket on, and stop cars and say,
"Oh yeah, said it's a fiver to park here, mate."
Well,
yeah, it's been done
like that. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's the psyche of convincing you I've got the power over you.
Of course,
so whatever I say, you do.
He
so
could walk on a building site with a high vis on. I mean, it's like no one's going to say anything. You know, it's It's just.
But they look official.
It's
so
just looking the part, really, isn't it? And I think, obviously, if I turned up in jeans and a hoodie, I don't look as authoritative as a guy in a black suit.
Then you're going to be more. Oh, right, he's
looking official. That's the guy
he knows his shit.
Who we need to talk to. And I mean, it is weird. But, you know, it's how you. Yeah, I think it is down to kind of your psyche.
Yeah.
So have you got any Men in Black tales for us?
I have. Let's start off with a car crash.
Oh, God, we're always starting car crashes. Go on.
Well, in 1967...
probably not. Go on.
There was a guy called Robert Richardson.
1967.
Driving down a nice country lane with his wife, when all of a sudden he hit something, and on collision hit something, and whatever it was, it disappeared straight away.
Just vanished
straight away. So he had his brake. He put his brakes on. He got out. He had a look round. He found a piece of metal on the floor. So he picked the piece of metal up and went.
Yes, I've heard about this. Didn't he take it home?
Yeah, he took it home and then took it to the authorities the next day, and then I believe a week later he got a knock on the door.
Right. Okay.
Two Men in Black, and he was like.
So were they more interested in where he got this piece of metal?
No, they wanted that piece of metal.
But didn't he hand it in to the authorities?
Yes. This is it.
Were they haven't got it anymore? So sorry, officer. But
he handed it over to get him tested. But for some reason, these must have been outside the authority.
Did he hand it in? I was going to say, did he hand it in to to get it tested off his own back, or did he hand it in at the police station to be tested?
I can't see him going to the nearest military base and send it.
Because I know when we talked about Bigfoot, it was an outside organisation that tested the hairs.
Yeah.
You couldn't take him to the park ranger's office and say, "I think I found Bigfoot hair."
Yeah, I think it was.
If you take,
different places,
they might have turned. Obviously, right. You've got to think of it logically, right?
Yeah.
So he's turned up at your police station.
Yeah.
Said,
"Here, I've got a piece of metal here."
Exactly. Yeah, I've got a fucking piece of metal, right? And the cop is going to go, "Woohoo! Haha!" Yeah, right. He's going to go, "No."
Go on. Is that you, Will Smith?
You, Will Smith?
Yeah.
Are you from the Wiggity Wiggity Wild Wild West? Ooh. Yeah, I'm sure you are. And he said, "Don't worry." And then he says, "I know you," and he flashy thinged him, and he went, "Hello, are you Will Smith?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Anyway." So he's turned up at the police station with his lump of metal, and then what's the police? You're the police officer. I've got my lump of metal.
I wasn't there, you know.
What do you want me to do with this?
Well,
I found this lump of metal. What do you want to do?
Well, he wanted it analysed. And they said,
you're a copper, so go on. What are you going to say to me? Analyse it. You're going to analyse it.
Why do you want me to analyse that? Oh, because something hit me and it disappeared.
Just going to get
Can
out,
you find
mate.
out? Well, the piece of metal might have looked weird as well.
People to
you don't know what a piece of metal looks like, because if it was a normal piece of metal, you ain't going to go around and go, "Oh, right, hit that. Oh, well, I'll keep that and take it to the police station." But if it's something weird,
mate, he's been
more likely to take
working with metal for years, probably, and he's like, "That's a bit different." Yeah,
that's a back end off of a fucking
but your average
Volvo.
Copper, do you know what I mean? He's going to be like, "I don't."
Yeah,
know.
but he
I'll take you seriously, but
but he's got to investigate it, because he's been put into action to investigate a situation that just happened.
Into action.
Well, a week later, he gets a knock on the door by these Men in Black, and
he's just making me want to say it. Go on.
They asked him, has he got that piece of metal, and why did he give it to the authorities? And they basically turned around, and these were the words he said: "Was if you want your so-called pretty wife to stay as pretty as she is now, then you better go and get that piece of metal."
Fucking hell.
Yeah. And so he closed the door.
Why couldn't they as, government types, go to the police department and say, we've taken up the investigation, can we take that piece of metal for analysis? That's all they had to do.
Well,
they
if they were black ops,
this guy and his pretty wife.
If they were black ops, they could have easily gone in, got the stuff.
Yeah, didn't have
but
to.
But if they were outside the organisation or government, then they can't. So
that leads you to believe that they were outside
organisation. Yeah, it has to be.
Maybe it was, but again, this is it. You've also got the idea that it could have been a tinkerer, yeah,
or just a blagger,
or like somebody who's built something in his garage and now he's tested it, and crashed, and now he's thinking, shit, a piece of my machines fell off. Oh, if anyone finds it, it's going to get traced back to me. I've got fucking plutonium in the basement that's powering my fucking vehicle.
Yeah.
And, oh no, what's going to happen? And then, so he thinks, right, I'll go and threaten this family and get this piece of metal back, so then there's no ties to me, and then I can get away with it. Listen,
no, because
I'm only saying because he could have been a really good inventor. All I'm saying is, out of you've got to analyse all the possibilities and eliminate any of the improbable scenarios.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes, man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it was a bit strange that that these weren't obviously the authorities,
right? Okay,
knocking on the door and requesting and threatening.
No, obviously, I mean, threatening
he never
his
seen
wife.
him again after that.
Did he not say, "Come on, mate"? You threatening ladies?
He should have done what one of yours does.
He did, yeah. There was I've got a story. Colonel Rogers, yeah. Colonel Rogers is a bit of a badass.
Colonel Rogers.
Basically, he was retired from the military. He lived alone. Rogers basically mentioned to some people that he'd seen a UFO during his work for the military.
As you do.
He basically assumed that they were real and talked as if they were. Didn't really kind of say, it was one of them, we'd be down at the pub going, when I was in the conversation, he'd tell the stories of when he was in the military. Yeah. But obviously this got out, and before he knew it, there was kind of a knock at his door. A guy dressed in black at his front door. Basically, when Rogers opened it, the man began to warn him about not talking about UFOs.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Rogers told the man, he says, okay, just 1 minute. He excused himself.
Good lad.
Yeah. He went into his bedroom, came back to the front door with a loaded .45 pistol.
Minter.
Right. He cocked it, pointed it directly at the man's head and said, I don't know if you're CIA, NSA, or what. Yeah. But I can guarantee it's going to be someone's, a lot of explaining for someone if I put a bullet in your head right now. Yeah. So I suggest you get off my property.
Fucking damn right and quick.
And the guy left.
Yeah.
Right. The next day.
Yeah.
Another man showed up wearing a regular business suit.
Yeah, as you do.
Hello,
George.
Mr. Rogers. Just here to talk about the aliens.
Oh, aliens.
So he's basically turned up and he was like, just want to talk to you briefly.
Yeah.
I know that you've seen stuff, but I've just got to say it's still kind of classified.
Yeah.
Would you mind not talking about it so much?
Did he say, hold on a minute, I just need to go to my bedroom a minute? I fucking would.
It would have been bad.
Well, so that makes it more government on that one.
Of course it does. It makes it obviously look like it's, we've tried the intimidation tactics. Yeah. This guy's obviously a military man. He's not going to fall for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to go, listen, let's go and talk to him on a level he understands. It's government top secret.
Yeah.
You're putting national security at risk.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate it if you didn't talk. Now, how do we know that when, you know what I mean, in gangster terms, we'd appreciate it if you didn't?
Was he American?
Yeah.
So then he's under national security. He's got shot for 25 years. His 25 years could have been up.
I mean, obviously, he's put a gun to one of their agents' heads. If he, I mean, the next, obviously, they've just turned around and said, we'd ask, we appreciate it if you didn't do it. But in what context does that? Is that delivered in? It's like, we appreciate it means, we made him agree to what our way of thinking.
Well, what do you think would have happened if he turned around and said, if he did go back to the...
He lived alone, so he didn't have any sort of, any leverage that way.
Yeah,
because
he liked to actually threaten the families, not you.
He was just
anymore.
him.
Yeah.
So it was like him. He wasn't asked, and he
but
was a
if
bit
he
of a
come
hard
back
nut.
out and went, oi, knobhead, I told you, come here again, I'm going to fuck it, you're going to have problems.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think
what do you reckon would happen
first instance was a threatening visit.
Well, yeah.
It was an intimidating guy in a black suit, turns up, and then they starts threatening instantly, right? Yeah. Now, that's failed, and then they thought, right, we'll reason with the guy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that might have worked, because obviously I don't think he talked about it too much. But like,
But what do you reckon would have happened if he would have threatened that other officer?
I don't know. The guy just left.
I reckon they would have come back and sorted him out. But obviously, as he said, I shut up about it.
Have you got any more?
Have I ever? Yeah, I have.
Here come the man in black.
I've
Woohoo,
got
haha.
I missed a doctor.
Dr. Roberto.
Yeah. So, in 1976, when Dr. Hopkins...
Not the Dr. Hopkins.
I don't know if it was the Dr. Hopkins.
Hopkins.
But he was researching into a local UFO, which now is UAP.
Right, okay.
Yeah, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Ah, right, okay,
yeah,
okay.
That's
why it's been
called,
reclassified as it.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So he got a strange phone call.
Did it?
Yeah, after doing a little bit of research into this UFO or UAP, he actually got a phone call off a gentleman who said he was investigating this UFO case. So they had a deep conversation about the case. They both found out little bits of information and that. So as the doctor was putting his phone down, he got a knock on the door. Now the guy...
Was it Will Smith?
Well, the guy who was on the phone sounded... monotone.
It was Tommy Lee Jones.
Probably was, yeah. I'll ring him, you knock on the door. But as he opened the door, and this gentleman was talking, he in a suit as well.
Yeah, looking
smooth. In a black suit, looking smooth, yeah.
With my Ray-Bans on.
Oh, yeah.
Haha. Come on, fucking
as he was talking to him, he noticed that it was the same person who was on the phone. Now... Back then, there was no mobile phones or anything like that.
Oh, so it was impossible for him to be in two places at once?
Yeah. So
do you reckon the clones, potentially?
Well, I don't know. The weirdest thing was what happened next.
We got an army of clone fucking intimidators, enforcers.
You know what? It's
go out and
not
threaten,
impossible.
And they're just serving.
They want to make clones, don't they? There's actually a few dickhead scientists on private islands and in private...
That's what I'm
countries
saying.
Who are
That's another thing about
it.
Going into space, yeah, and like colonizing another planet. It's like, who says those laws apply? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah,
that
fair enough.
So
it's frowned upon down here on Earth, but yeah, go mad on Mars.
Yeah, you can do
we
what
don't
you
care
want.
if you've got a load of freaky monsters running around after legit fucking laboratory experiments gone wrong.
But if you need to do certain tests,
loads
I
of
suppose
superheroes.
Another planet's the best place to do it, isn't it?
What?
If you think about it, if you need to test certain things.
Yeah, if you want to fuck it up rapid, we've already fucked one planet up. It's this is our
we're not going to do it to the other fucking
planets. This is our escape plan. You don't mess up the escape plan.
Yeah,
unless you've got another one.
Yeah, another planet and then another. We've got trillions of the bastards.
If we can get to him,
that's the thing.
That's
getting
another
to him,
story.
Yeah, that is another story.
So go on.
So this
MIB me up, son.
Gentleman at the door asked if Dr. Hopkins could give him a copper coin.
Okay.
So
what was that for?
Well, you'll find out in a minute. So he put his hand in his pocket, got a copper coin in his hand, and this gentleman turned it from copper to silver to blue.
To blue?
To blue.
Oh, yeah, from copper to silver to blue. That notorious metal, semi-precious metal blue.
Yeah, and it started
dematerializing.
That's it.
So it disappeared.
Yeah, so it basically disappeared in front of his hands, and the guy turned round and said to him, "Halt your investigation on this," and then turned round and walked off.
Okay.
And the guy never spoke about it.
So it was rather Dynamo.
More of a threat. Yeah.
It sounds like something Dynamo would do.
Yeah, but the freaky
he just
thing,
walk
I
up,
suppose,
fuck your head up and walk
things.
off.
Well, three freaky things. You've got a gentleman dressed all smartly knocking at your door. You've got someone who's just the same person who's just been on the phone
made something teleport
and just been at the door. And then he did that freaky thing on the fucking
I don't know. If you think about it, that all ties in, really. Because
it tells you technology.
No, it tells you the guy can teleport, right? Because obviously he was on the phone. Yeah, mobile phones didn't exist, so he had to get from wherever he was communicating from to the door. Yeah. So he's teleported in, and then he's looked with a puzzled look on his face. And he's explained himself. He's explained it by teleporting a coin. That's what he's just done.
True.
In body language terms, he's answered his questions.
Yeah, but then turned around and told him, stop investigating.
Well, mate, yeah, but that's it. Look at how powerful we are. Don't mess.
Well, that is the threat.
Don't mess with the best, because the best don't mess.
That is the threat. Yeah.
Old school 90s lingo.
You're right. You're right. The best times.
So do you think teleportation? Do you think he's what do you think was going on there then? Because was this just like a...
Well, that just shows me that then in the question that it could be alien. So in just them three stories, we have someone who may be alien. We have someone who works for the government. It sounds like we've got another group that doesn't work within the.
I've got another one actually about a government worker.
Yeah.
She's called Christine. She was a career military person, pilot. She flew for the armed forces in the United States. She was even a member of the infamous, is it the Tailhook Association? If you don't know what the Tailhook Association is, it's Navy fighter pilots. I think they're called the Tailhooks, and that comes from when they landing on the aircraft carriers.
Yeah, they get hooked.
They get hooked as they fly in.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dangerous, and obviously fucking
pretty skilled.
Definitely. So she's a member of this society. Obviously, she's been flying a long time. One night, she says a large UFO showed up and hovered over the base for about 40 minutes. Everybody saw it. She said that there was all pilots there. She knew. She was basically there was loads of stuff going on, but basically there was some guys dressed in black hats, dressed all in black with black hats. They got
do like a black hat
and went showed up at the base. They had 4 guys dressed in black with hats on. They got out, went around the base. Basically told everybody not to talk about it, right? Closed down the base, sent loads of people off, right? But then, what was it? Basically just really affirmed the fact that it was a military thing and not to show. But so that makes me think that obviously there's the idea that the government are involved because they've turned up on a military base. Who's given the permission to go around and talk to everyone?
It makes me think Majestic.
Do you think?
Yeah, Majestic.
The Majestic 12?
Yeah, the Majestic 12 would be definitely a part of the vault. And I can tell you, I don't know if they've changed it, but I could tell you what the colour codes were as well for actual teams. It was like blue teams would go out and retrieve any kind of aircraft that went down. Red team was a retrievement team that actually went out to see witnesses who would actually see anything. Then you have like grey teams, other teams that went out and did certain duties that just solely for them to do in that kind of and they were the military terms then one.
Okay, fair enough.
Which
I think the idea that they went over onto the base does ask a lot of questions or bring up a lot of questions.
You've got the power to shut down a base.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're able to go in, roll onto this base and speak to the top brass in charge and say, look, we need to brief everyone. Yeah,
they get the fuck out.
So there'll be loads of non-essential staff. I'm assuming the people who got sent off would have been people who weren't present the day before.
Yeah, but
so
then
non-essential staff and maybe
it also makes me think: could it be aliens as well? Because it's a wild one. Because if a load of people know about the truth, there's more likely the truth's going to come out, right? So they have to keep it under wraps as much as possible. But is there a possibility that it's actually the aliens who are like the ones who are if they were controlling us as a species and actually going in and doing their own inspections?
Well, Albert,
because it could have been a different alien species.
I've got this story about Albert Bender. I mean, he has an encounter, and it was kind of like an alien encounter, if you ask me. So Albert Bender was the director of an amateur astrology organization. Well, basically an amateur International Flying Saucer Bureau, and they believed that
this was coming.
They believed they blew the lid off it, the whole flying saucer thing. He had his own publication called Space Review, in which he planned to spread his discovery after compiling all of his own collection and research, wisdom and stuff on the matter.
Didn't want a Bob Lazar disappear.
Well, basically, unfortunately, before he attracted the attention of the public with his discovery, he had the Men in Black round at his house.
Yeah, and they brought something, didn't they?
What?
They brought something round the disc.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
They actually told him what they were doing.
Oh, right. Okay.
Why they were here.
Okay.
And it disturbed him that much that after he did, I think he told a few people what they actually were here for. He shut up about it. It scared him so much.
Well, they basically says that here that they wanted to prevent him from leaking this information. Yeah. So, I mean, why give him more information?
Well, no, I think the information was to back him off because he was really that scared. Apparently, he said that they didn't like us, they didn't agree with us. They were from different dimensions, multi-different dimensions.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, with the materialization
but
stuff.
Then to me, that says, well, if you don't like us, like we got dicks in this world, one of the dicks would go around. Maybe someone, let's say Hitler, let's start a war. Or, a terrorist, let's drop a bomb. Dude, well, if they've got the power, one of their dickheads could turn around and go, true. Let's drop a disease. Let's flow
I get where you're coming from.
You know what I mean? So on that...
Bit extreme.
Yeah, it is a bit extreme.
But yeah.
But if you're willing to conquer someone and you do not like them and you don't like what they stand for or anything like that, but then on a lot of other levels, on other ufologists and those who investigate, it's more in... that they want to, they're trying to look after us, not a case of destroyers. But I believe there are certain ones who do want to destroy us, but we've got more protection by the goodies.
The good aliens.
The goodies.
In the intergalactic Star Wars.
Yeah, we're under the Council of Nine. Yeah. Getting jiggy with it.
Well, Albert, a couple of days after his encounter with the Men in Black, woohoo, haha, Bender was in bed and suddenly started feeling dizzy. He noticed several dark shapes in the room. They slowly materialised into men in black suits and hats. No. Well, hats is a new one on me. I've never seen Will Smith in a hat.
No, you've never seen every picture that... has been filmed of Men in Black.
They've always had like sort of kind of like old school hats on, haven't they? Yeah. That's true actually. Yeah. So obviously the hats were obscuring the faces. He noticed in particular that the men's eyes lit up with an incredible glow.
Yeah.
So that makes me think alien if that was the case, because there's no government agent that's, unless it's got night vision.
Don't forget, they probably got technology that we ain't even seen yet. And I'm on about the government's not the alien.
Well, he shit himself that time.
Yeah.
So much that he was too happy to comply with the request to not say anything.
Right.
So he didn't release his publication anymore. He sacked it all.
Closed it all down.
So they told him the whole story. They said, "This is what we're here for." Maybe that was it. Maybe he was like, "Shit."
Yeah, but then that's their version.
I'm
it's not necessarily the version of the other race.
True.
Races, you know what I mean? Because, like I say, most races are supposed to be trying to stop people from telling us, so they can keep the control of what we've got and try and put us in a peaceful place. Supposedly. But there are races out there that, like the Dragonoffs, who try and destroy us and shit like that. Dracos, that's it.
Them ones.
Yeah.
Naughties.
Yeah, the naughty
anyway,
boys. Naughty boys.
Have you got another one? Have you got any more?
No.
Men in Black? No. Is that it? Well, that's enough time. We've only had enough time anyway.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's time for the news. It's the news. Yeah. We've looked all over the internet.
Yeah, I looked at one page.
Oh, well, have you? I've looked at quite a lot.
loads.
This week for the craziest news on Earth, space and beyond.
Even got fashion news this week.
You got fashion news.
Weird fashion news.
Weird fashion.
News. Yeah.
I've got some news.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got some fashion news actually.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, we got a new segment, a bit of fashion news.
That's a fashion. In fact, you can get your fashion at the merch stand.
Yes, you can.
Some sexy stuff
Good
there.
prices and gorgeous stuff.
Trying to find my news.
Shall I find yours?
I've got it here.
You got it. Go.
Here you go.
Here we go.
You know Airbnb?
Yeah.
Right. You know Airbnb's doing a lot of trade at the moment because there's obviously people can't go on foreign holidays.
Yeah.
So the staying in their own countries a lot more.
Yeah.
And Airbnb, people are putting their properties on.
Yeah.
Doing swaps and stuff like that.
Okay.
People like weird places to stay, it seems, because a child's playhouse has been fully booked on Airbnb.
What? In the back of someone's yard?
Yep.
No.
It's serious. Child's playhouse listed on Airbnb for a joke.
Bed and breakfast?
It's been fully booked at £500 a night.
You're joking.
Nope.
It's there for a joke and it's been fully booked.
He put it there for a joke and it's been fully booked. The 49-year-old Jason built the 8-foot, 2.4 metre by 6 foot, 1.8 metre structure in his garden during lockdown.
You got a treehouse?
The dad of 5 basically made it up because the kids, obviously wanted the playhouse.
Playhouse, yeah, man.
And, we signed it up for a joke on the popular travel website. Didn't actually think anyone would stump up to stay in it.
Yeah, but cha-ching!
But he was surprised when a family of 4 signed up for a night.
Mensa. What, for 500 quid?
Yep.
For one night?
Seriously?
Where the fuck is it?
I don't know.
Epping Forest?
Well, I don't know. He said it cost around $3,500 to make, which I doubt.
Whoa.
I'm not sure. $3,500 for a Wendy
He's
house.
brought someone in to make it. Then
Has he had to put
$3,500 for that piece of shit?
Slide.
They've
awesome.
been knocked.
That cannot be.
They have been robbed blind. No, yeah. Show us more pictures.
It's got to have more pictures.
God.
Never mind.
That's
I think that's
$3,500.
pretty good, actually.
Fuck off.
It goes to show if you've got a bit of a crazy little annex or house.
I think he's put his
whatever,
labour in that as well.
Stick your pub. I'll get Gavin to put put
he
built a pub on
night,
lockdown when he built a pub in his back garden.
Locking nights. Hey, there
you go.
Yeah, hey, quid's in there, son.
Go on, have you got some news?
Have I got? Yeah, I have. I've got sort of good news.
Some good news?
Yeah.
Oh, go on, hit me up, bro.
It's not great, but it's
I'll take anything you got at the moment.
Well, the Bank of England have said they're ready for a second wave of the COVID virus. They're big and fast. They'll be ready for anything to happen now.
Oh, right, okay.
Supposedly. Well, it's better than them turning around going, fuck, we're in shit, like the Fed.
Doesn't that just mean that they're going, yeah...
Just means they've made more money.
They've basically sat around and gone, right, we've got an opportunity here because
totally.
We're ready, we've got enough money to cover anybody asking.
Yeah.
So if you want to borrow... they're not talking about us. They're talking about the government
because they get like 0.1% on the interest.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just putting we're already trillions in debt. It's
$2 trillion.
So they'll go, oh well, you know, we're ready, we're here for you. Yeah. You want another trillion? Don't worry, we'll stick it on the
10 years, we were only paying off the interest. We hadn't even started. It was 1.8 trillion before this hit. So an extra 200 billion has been added onto our bill. Plus, I know it's plus because we've already lent 264 billion.
Fucking crazy, isn't it? Yeah. When you think about it, it's all bollocks numbers in a machine. To be fair,
it is. Well, it's the big changeover, isn't it? It's the big change of the money because they need to sort that out.
Paint your fence, Gav.
Yeah, paint your fence, Gav.
Paint your fence.
It looks fucking filthy.
Swap your 3 oranges for a plum.
For a plum? Oh,
there you go. Exotic.
I got a grape.
Got this bizarre story. A tusk of a creature that lived in the Antarctic. Over 250 million years ago. And basically is the first known example of an animal hibernating to survive the winter. It's a new species, bro. And it's because of global warming. Believe it or not.
Thankful for global warming.
Well, think about it, right? Yeah, because it's like at the moment the Antarctica's kind of thawing out.
Yeah,
and they've got scientists over there doing a lot of kind of research. I think last week or a week before we were talking about a meteorite crater they've discovered that has been hidden under snow for fucking God knows how long. Yeah, and it's probably like the last meteorite to ever have hit Earth.
Yes.
In that capacity, you know, like a big one.
Yeah.
And so now they're finding new fossils of other sort of animals and species and stuff that we never knew was there. God knows what they'll find tomorrow.
Well, we've lost more than we've gained.
Well, no.
The more have died, the more species have died than has ever lived in our timeline.
Well, apparently, they reckon it looks kind of a cross between a giant pig and a lizard.
A lizard?
Sounds pretty nice, doesn't it?
I wouldn't want that for breakfast.
I know, yeah. So, but they reckon it's one of the earliest examples of a hibernating animal. And it dates back time ages, man. Time ages.
What are we talking, hundreds, thousands,
I don't know,
millions,
some guy from
billions?
Harvard University says it's 250 billion. 250 million years ago.
250 million years ago?
Yeah. Is that not long enough for you? Do you want longer?
Yeah, I think man would have been round the corner from there.
Well, there you go. We probably ran into one of these.
We probably killed the fucker.
We probably killed him off.
Just didn't eat it.
So, go on. Good. News me up, man. I've got some funny ones.
Oh, there's a weird thing that they're requesting in Florida Keys to release 750 million mosquitoes.
Yeah, I heard about this. Genetically modified mosquitoes.
Yeah.
That's not going to go wrong, is it?
No, you know what I mean? And like,
it's just
always when we play God, we fuck up somewhere along the line. If not now, our future kids will.
Well, what's the aid of the mosquito then? What's it good?
Right, it is to stop the when the female is breeding. When it creates females, the female eggs will die, and the reason why is because they're the ones that suck our blood. Right, the males don't need to. But it made me think. Okay, you do that, so you stop the females from basically breeding, so you basically die it off.
Right.
But the thing is, what if the male decides because she can't, he will have to do it? Because the species will try and
you're going Jurassic Park on me, aren't you? With nature will find a way.
Well, nature will try and find a way to fight back.
Yeah, of course he will.
They always will. And not only that, the genetic engineering that we dealt with, and we don't know what exactly has gone on in it.
No, of course we don't.
And what will it do if it bites you?
Yeah, well, it will bite you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's
the first lot will.
But it got approved, and, you know...
well, it It hasn't been.
It's been approved. It's been approved. It was going ahead as far as I knew.
They're looking for a release date. It might have been approved, but there is no date of release yet. But everyone in Florida Keys were kicking off about it as well, which
I think I would be as well. I think releasing something that you've genetically modified into the ecosystem. It's a very. We've already proven that. You take
fuck things up.
I was talking about a national park, and it was basically saying that years ago there used to be a wolf problem. Yeah. So they took away the wolves, or they bred them out, and culled them. Yeah. To the point where there was no wolves. Yeah. But loads of more wildlife started coming in. Yeah. Right, because there was no threats.
No predators. Yeah.
So. Like, the ecosystem changed. Yeah. Right? It got to the point where they started getting overrun with another type of animal. Yeah. But that animal was doing something to the water, which in turn was killing the fish. Which meant they had to reintroduce wolves back into the environment because they hunt this animal and rebalanced it. It's these lessons that we learn.
And I learned these in
now adding
school.
A new thing into it that's not got no business being in this ecosystem. Yeah, it's only going to fuck stuff up. They're gonna start rather dominating the existing species, and we get a situation like the squirrels over here, where you've got like one species over dominating it, where it kills it off. Yeah. And then you're left with the genetic one. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And
we had flatworm as well, and that was getting rid of our normal worms.
I think it's weird, man. I think why play God with this sort of stuff?
Because we can't. We love.
It's alive.
We love touching stuff and trying to fuck things up, or trying to make things better when we make it 10 times worse.
Look with your eyes and not with your hands.
Yeah, exactly. It's all. And another big thing to do with it is money. Money. That is the biggest thing about it. It's money, because it makes a lot of money for the person who can learn nature and actually bring it out in something and sell it.
Yeah. Stop messing around, man.
Yeah.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah.
All that shit and more.
Anyway, do you know what? I found this one, which is pretty cool, and I'm quite up for it myself.
Oh, wow.
Would you want to spend a night in a ghost, in a ghost house or a haunted hotel?
Yes.
Haunted hospital or orphanage?
Yes.
Well,
I nearly did a competition once. I wish I didn't. I'm glad I didn't, actually, because it ended up being people being strangled and all sorts.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this is a haunted hospital, I think, this one.
Yeah.
A company are offering fans of paranormal to spend a night in a haunted abandoned building, previously used as an orphanage and a hospital. Sorry, I keep saying hotel. Looks pretty creepy. The ad says, have you always wanted to experience what it's like to spend a night in a haunted building? If the answer is yes, then they might have the opportunity for you.
Done it, mate. Got a T-shirt.
Got a T-shirt, mate. Won it. The company called Haunted Happenings are offering people the chance to spend the night in the haunted Newsham Park Hospital in Liverpool. According to the company, it's a Grade 2 listed building dating back to Victorian times.
Oh, right.
And over the past years, it's been used for many different things, including an orphanage, a
psychological ward,
a psycho hospital, or a psychopathic hospital, and a nursing home. So it's had its fair share of, tragedy.
Glitz and glamour.
So they reckon it's obviously had some hauntings. You can book by going to hauntedhappenings.co.uk.
Good luck.
Yes. Do you reckon you'd do it?
if you pay for it, I'd do it.
I don't even know how much it is.
I was going to do it, and I'm glad I didn't do it.
Well, there you go, right? If the Patreons want to get out there and put their hand in the pocket,
yeah, we'll do it.
We'll get it paid for. We'll get Taylor spend a night in a haunted orphanage. Yeah. That'd be amazing.
I ain't sleeping, no.
No, you got to stay up though.
Yeah,
you've got to film it all
in the dark.
Put it on YouTube.
Can I have lights on?
No, you've got to give you a small torch
and a lighter. Because if the batteries run out,
I'll let you have a lighter.
Yeah, I need extra, batteries off.
Go on, news me up, man. You got some news?
Yes, I have. When I was telling you last week about hiding food away, putting food away in America, they were putting food away.
Yeah, stashing away.
Yeah. Well, apparently something's been coming up lately. I think it was in the Washington Post last week, where they're like closing down farms now.
Why? Because wasn't it?
They're saying COVID.
Well, yeah, there was an issue where there was high-risk areas, and they were turning around and saying the problem was with the supply chain and the food supply chain in America was the main distribution houses or distribution centres were in high-risk areas.
Yeah.
So it meant that there was a lot of people furloughed, a lot of people sent home.
Yeah, so work was getting done.
Yeah, exactly. But then also they were having outbreaks in the factories, so they had to close them down.
But then now they're doing it. It's to be honest, it's not happening now. It's been happening a while now.
They did foresee a problem in the food chain supply.
Yeah, but it looks like most farms are going to look like they're going to get closed down. Now, their biggest thing is their food supply. That food supply is only going to last a certain amount of time.
Well, you'd hope
And
that
they've
they'd be aid, I suppose. And
There's
as
only
well
a certain
as
amount of aid. That's why they've been holding it. Putting in food, hiding food. But
well,
don't forget, they've been doing it for a couple of years.
I mean,
as well.
the thing is, countries have survived on rationing.
Yeah, that's true.
If they get into God forbid, if it gets to a point where it's that bad, where they need to do that. I mean, they might be at a point where it's not that they're holding everything back. It's just a case of they're limiting what they send out, because if they sent it all out, or they sent the usual, amounts where you can buy as many packets as you want, then people do stockpile, and then you're left with nothing in the warehouse. Whereas if you drip feed people with so you've just got enough to everyone can have something.
But you still shouldn't be getting the creators of the food that you may need, because once you stop that,
what do you mean by the creators?
Well, the farmers and that. If you stop the produce from coming out of there, you've got a massive gap.
But that's not what would you rather have? Like a factory or a farm that's overrun with COVID and still operating?
Another way the farm would have to operate. It'd have to change if it's that.
Yeah, but at that point,
but you can't
that's what I'm saying. You got to shut them down to reevaluate and get everything back up to code. Because if you do have an outbreak, then you've got to basically shut the whole place down. You've got to disinfect the whole place. You've got to have it certified as clean before you can even think about bringing your workforce back. Yeah, and then they've all got to be tested because you've been working in an environment. It's not just a case of we're going to close you down for, And I mean, if you can get those,
there needs to be a balance.
Things in place.
I think the balance is off, to be honest.
It hit everybody. I don't think anybody could have foreseen it. And I think, like you've just said about the Bank of England, saying if there was a second wave, we'd be a lot better prepared. Yeah. I think everybody would be, because we know what to expect. And a lot of companies out there would be saying the same thing. They'd be saying, well, we've kind of got a precaution in place just in case, especially in the food industry and industries where, factories, or they've got a workforce that are, because there's been a lot of kind of like fruit picking farms over here, where people are kind of in close quarters, and it is mainly food. And I mean, let's get real. I mean, it started in a wet market. Do you know what I mean? So the idea of it being around your edibles, isn't something that's kind of just come up. Yeah, it's something that's I think is a big thing. And if you've got people processing, there was a thing about a sandwich company the other week, and they said, we had to close down this sandwich company because they make so many millions of sandwiches for the workforce of the nation. They get sent out nationwide, right? I mean, I didn't know which, I couldn't find out which sandwich company it was, but they got closed down. And then I'm thinking, well, how many sandwiches were sent out before they realised? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and to be honest, I can see it more being computerised. If you get more computers to do the thing that the person would do, then one, the factory owner would be more happy because he doesn't have to pay out as much fucking money.
Of course. And then you're minimising on you're maximising the hygiene.
Get everything out and the hygiene sorted.
Well, you can keep it in a controlled environment, can't you? Exactly. But then that's again, it's like they took our jobs.
Yeah, fucking rightly so.
They took our jobs.
Well, have you seen that? The outside the White House, there was a guillotine with
really?
Yeah. With like a model of
Trump's head off.
Yeah, but it also happened outside the owner of Amazon. And do you know why?
Why?
They were requesting minimum wage to be $30.
The thing is, we were talking about this. I mean, the idea of minimum wage. Companies do this, don't they? They go, well, the minimum wage is this, so this is how much you're on. Yeah. I mean, that the idea of a minimum wage is that is the minimum you can pay someone.
Yeah,
you can actually pay someone. You can actually pay someone more. You know.
Yeah,
There's nothing stopping you paying you a bit more.
What happened with maximum wage?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a living wage, right?
And if we'd kept up with our minimum wage every year and didn't actually stop it. Was it you who was
not having the conversation with? It was someone was telling me about it. It was like they were going, yeah, but we pay the minimum wage, and it's like, well, there is more. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that the government
and you've been forced
no, it's the company.
Well, yeah, but they've been forced. If they could get away with it, they would pay you £2 a pound an hour.
Oh, of course, yeah. If they could get away with paying you less, they would.
Yeah,
but that's it. But that's the government, guideline on the bottom line. You can pay somebody legally, right? And like you say, if they could pay you less, but obviously there is always the option of paying them a little bit more.
Yeah, but then and then product you buy, you'd have to pay more.
Well, no, because then you get good people. You get good people who are good at the jobs and skilled, and you pay them a bit more, and they're happier and they work more productive.
Oh yeah, totally.
Do you know what I mean?
You got to see as well if you want more high on your wage, you will have to pay for products with a bit more. You have to.
He's
pay
staring
a bit
at me now. He's like proper staring at me.
Yeah, because it would have to work through the economy that way. Because soon as let's say you were
woohoo, haha,
in a television place, you're selling TVs. Your employees want higher pay, right? Well, you're going to have to put them TVs above pricey, aren't you?
Do you know what? If
you're
I had
one
a boat,
next week going to buy that.
If
TV.
I was selling boats, and
boats?
I was just going to, we could go analogies all day. Do you know what I mean?
Trains.
But the fact
Let's go for a train.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice, but there is that case of, like, if everyone's on higher pay, you will have to pay out.
All right, the man. Yeah, forgot. Yeah, we're talking to the man here.
Yeah, because the CEOs are not going to turn around and go, well, you know what? I'm going to cut £20,000 out of my wages so they can have that. Yeah, like fuck, they're trying to get as much money as possible. So it's a business.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on.
Man
cuts his own ears off and keeps them in a jar after paying £6,000 to make his head look like a skull.
Oh, no.
It's crazy. Why do people do these self-modifications? I mean, if you want to do it, whatever makes you happy, but obviously, cut your ears off.
Oh, my day.
Two major flaws. I actually was thinking this the other day, right? How handy ears are.
Yeah.
We're quite lucky to have them, really.
Where's he going to put his sunglasses?
That's exactly what I was going to say. He can't wear sunglasses anymore, and wearing a face mask.
Yeah, he's going to...
That's totally out the window.
Oh, no. He can do that. Elastic round the back.
Oh, you couldn't you? Yeah. I mean, if that was the headline, man cuts his own ears off so he doesn't have to wear a face mask.
Yeah, that's a good excuse, that. Yeah, where am I supposed to hang it, mate?
It's just what you're on about. Well, he's a tattoo-addicted dude. He's removed his own ears and he keeps them in a jar.
He did it himself.
No, I don't know.
He removed his own ears, you just said.
Yeah,
so that suggests to me he did it himself. He was bored one evening.
He had his ears removed.
When he was in lockdown, he went, fuck it, I don't need these fuckers no more.
And he's basically, he's currently employed and in a relationship, so he's like thinking, doesn't matter. He's German.
That's
so he's undergone 17 extreme body modifications up to date, including head implants, forearm implants, back and hand implants, under the skin placement implants, and tongue splitting.
Is he trying to be the $6 million man or
God knows, but basically, he's now gone for the cutting off the earlobes.
And he's a robot.
What?
And now he's a robot.
Well, he's next planning to have the tip of his nose cut off.
What?
And his eyeballs tattooed.
What?
He says.
No way is he having his eyeballs tattooed.
He said the decision to change his body so drastically.
Why?
Comes from the heart.
From the heart?
Yeah.
Because
that's how he wants to look. That's how he wants to look. So, all power to the guy.
Yeah, true.
If you want to look like that,
then
quality for you.
You ain't doing me no harm.
Just
man, just make sure you know
just
what you're
think
doing
about
before
what
you
you're
actually
gonna
do
when you put your earbuds, or where you want to wear your Ray-Bans.
Yeah, well, yeah, a bit of elastic. You can copyright that.
Yeah, but the fact that you're have to use a little bit of elastic.
What?
It's
better
like,
than fuck all.
For fuck's sake.
Well, what else are you going to wear?
Well, what are you going to do? You've still got these
arms.
arms.
Has he been a clever dick and actually left a little bit on the edge so he could just
flap?
He could just a little flap so he could go here. I could put my Ray-Bans on here and I'm sweet, son.
I don't think he was that clever. I honestly don't think he's left a flap.
But man, no, them. Like,
well, what he could do is get some of more of these spiky things.
I just hope he doesn't regret it when he's older. That's all.
Well,
but then again, it's it's a story, isn't it? It's a story to tell down the pub.
Well, if you saw him down the pub. Have you got any more news?
I have.
Go for it.
Let's go with US is about to try and ban crypto codes.
Like cryptocurrencies?
I don't know how it's going to work with cryptocurrencies at the minute, but I know that, well, their main reason why they're saying they're doing this is to stop human trafficking. It's to stop, phones. Like they had an issue with iPhone.
Some bleak topics on tonight's show. I wanted to keep it happy. Go on, well, crack on.
Well, it could be happy, it could be sad. Depends how you want to take it, really. It is supposed to be for a good thing, to stop crime, but on another way, the codes are there for a reason.
Right, go for it.
Yeah. Well, people use them to... it's the same thing as the old excuses. If you've got nothing to hide, why reveal it? And it's like, yeah, but why do I need to reveal what I've got? It's the same as information. You reveal, it'd be harder to hide your information, and it'd be also easier for them to access.
Yeah, of course. If you had you bought it online, there's a trail of red tape coming back to you, obviously.
But they're taking away our rights bit by bit with a little bit of force, in a way.
Well, this is what I was talking about in the dystopian future episode. It is kind of like heading to that way where it's not currency, it's credits.
Yeah.
And whether you've got enough credits to eat that week or, whatever, it's kind of a subservient sort of existence in the end. And whether they change the monetary system or not, I think there'll be still aspects of society that will need to run on a paper system. It's not a case of that you can pay. Yeah, you can pay for certain things with, your card because you can't. And there is always going to be
gold and silver,
a cash system, whether it be gold and silver or trade or whatever. If they do end up, taking away paper money, which I doubt,
they're moving in that direction now. They are moving in that direction, and don't forget, we're putting a thing in our courts as well to try and ban bargaining. So on top of that as well, that is another thing that he's trying to tell us to do certain things, and you can't.
So I can't bargain?
Yeah, you won't. Not, but any way you want to do a deal, you got to pay tax on it. Basically, they're trying to stop people from not paying tax on doing do a favour, 200 quid if you paint me room. That kind of stuff. They're trying to stop all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but society can't work without it.
Of course, yeah. There's a lot of kind of money that gets made.
To get control, man.
Yeah, without without being
taxed,
put through the books.
Which shouldn't be taxed either.
Well, it depends.
A lot of things shouldn't be taxed.
It depends on how you look at it. Do you know what I mean? From the government's perspective, they're thinking, well that's income that's being made that should be being taxed.
Right.
Yeah. So how can we go about generating that money? Do you know what I mean? Or kind of reclaiming that money?
Well, I got one on the BBC for that one, because there is a group now in Parliament that is trying to get it in law.
He's angry tonight.
Well, no, just there's just some of these subjects have come up lately. Trying to get into law that your TV licence, you will have to pay the same as council tax. It will come under as your council tax.
I don't want to pay TV licence.
Well, no, I know, but there's been 3 million people since they've turned around and stopped the old grannies and granddads from having TV licence free. They've quit the TV licence, so they've got even less money now.
Yeah, because everyone's in solidarity has kind of said shut it down, and we keep telling people just do it. Just ring them up and say you don't want the service.
Well, the last 3 channels that they've made, all 3 of them, they've lost 3 million on that. So it tells you, right, well, get rid of them. They're not working. Yeah. If you have to, put some of them programmes on the TV stations that you've got. If you create more, you're going to want more money.
What they should do, they should just create TV programmes for other stations. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that's do that. Well, you can still make your BBC products. You can still do have one channel for live broadcasts and news. Sweet.
But it doesn't help as well when they're selling off products that, let's say, it's not The Voice, but let's say The Voice, right? We own The Voice and we sell it across the world, yeah? They did a number of contracts where there was programmes and they sold them for in fact, one guy bought a programme off the BBC.
Yeah, like stuff like Dancing with the Stars and fucking Strictly Come Dancing.
He bought it for £3 million.
American Idol.
15 million now.
And Pop Stars, The Idol, and fucking all of those. That format.
But they sell them cheaply. And then, this guy, 15 million he's sitting on, and he bought it for 3 million a couple of years ago. And it's because he went off and went, right, I'll sell it to Russia, I'll sell it to Canada, I'll sell it to America, I'll sell it to... Instead of us doing that kind of stuff, we go, oh, well, this programme, we've had it a couple of years, let's fuck it off. Sprue it up or, put a little bit more effort into that instead of going, oh, how do we make more money? Oh, let's put more channels out there so then the people have to pay more on the licence for shit and we can get bigger value in our back pocket.
Well, it's like a perpetual motion, isn't it?
If you're going to build bigger, you're going to need more money.
Well, they need to be able to pay for this fucking thing that they've made. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and now the world's taking over the BBC in terms of what they've got to offer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you can get Netflix or even YouTube, you know what? I can find more interesting things that actually appeal to me on YouTube than BBC has to offer. Definitely. It used to be that the only channel the BBC had that kind of had anything that was aimed at me was BBC Two. All that shit has been so milked now. It's it's all on Dave. And nobody cares. It's like it's had its day.
It's been
you're not producing anything new that I want to watch.
Exactly.
So
and then you've got all the things behind the back line as well on, let's say, Jimmy Savile's stuff as well, and then all the other bits of corruption that have been behind there as well. It's like, sort your fucking selves out. It needs a good clear out, and it got cleared out not that long ago.
I don't think it has, but
it's supposed to have got a clear out, but it seems like it's still in the same, seems to be in the same area.
Ah, well, BBC.
Well, yeah.
If you've already got got a TV license, go and cancel it. I recommend you do.
Yeah.
So where
have
we
got
up
anything?
to? Got some NASA news.
Yes, I
So basically, a 56-year-old satellite that's been up there 56 years.
Fucker.
It's going to fall safely to Earth this weekend. You should have collaborated. You should have told me what you've got because I asked you.
Well, we didn't get onto the news tonight. Well, we did on a few bits, but we didn't on the NASA.
You can fill us in.
No, go on.
Fill us in. Go for it. Go on, fill us in.
No, you got the story, so
I haven't. Go on, fill us in.
Do you know any of the rest
I'll
of the
just
story?
give the headline.
If you just give the headline. All right, then. Right, it's 57 years old. And it was a satellite that
whenever it comes to dates, you always contradict me.
Yeah, I've got it somewhere else where it was 57.
Well, I'm going to say that...
All right, it's in the mid-50s. Let's say mid to late 50s. Yeah?
Never agrees with me on dates.
Yeah, because I'm old, right? You know that.
Oh, yeah. We've got a riddle coming up, bear that in mind.
Yes, yeah, I'm still... I I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest.
Well, you're never right, so...
Well, that's true. So, yeah. It was me then, wasn't it? That was the answer.
Nope. Come on.
Well, this satellite was basically sent up in 1964. It's called the EকিIᔕOᗪE-1. It was designed to go up and check out our magnetic atmosphere around the planet, and it should have landed today at 5:10 p.m.
Right, okay. Yeah, it was this weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
in the Pacific.
In the Pacific Ocean?
Yes.
So was it landed now then? So
it should have been, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be, well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, like, it's been up there a fucking epic amount of times. It's been working all that time
as well, yeah. All that time it's been working.
Ah, God. Why is my bloody page frozen up? Oh, because it's a shitty website. That's what I'm looking at.
I see.
Dodgy websites.
Yeah, seen you on them.
Basically, NASA have found an incredible Star Wars galaxy.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it looks like a TIE fighter, this galaxy.
Oh, man.
That's why they're saying it's a Star Wars galaxy.
What's that word?
Pareidolia.
That's the fella.
Yeah. So they're looking at it like that, and it's basically got a sun in the middle, which is saying that that's the cab.
Right.
And then it's got these plumes that come out the side like it's wings. And, so they're saying that it's the Star Wars galaxy. Oh, it looked cool.
Beyond.
What?
Beyond.
What? It basically said NASA have uncovered an active galaxy, and it looks familiar to the TIE fighter. It's got a new unique shape that everyone recognises.
Are they going to call it that, though?
Yeah, they've called it the Star Wars galaxy.
It's fair enough, then. Because we've got, like, the crab, the horse. We've got loads of different names for different galaxies.
I think that's what they called it. They'd probably call it the TIE fighter galaxy, but he's probably got a name like some ridiculous...
OG 96725.
Yeah, something like that. So you found anything else? NASA space related?
I haven't. I've only got fashion now.
Well, you got fashion.
I've got. Well, I don't know. I reckon I can see you in it.
That's funny, isn't it? There's another website here that says, will EkiIᔕOᗪE-1 will return after 56 years.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It does that, yeah. Well, I did get 57. You might be right. I might be right.
I don't know where you're getting your information from.
Everywhere.
I'm
getting it from God.
Well.
Or the aliens. Depends who comes first.
Did we talk about this last week, about NASA investigating an anomaly in the Earth's magnetic field? I think we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I think that's it for NASA news this week, to be honest. It's getting late.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a bit of a weird show tonight. I do apologise. A bit ranting. Well, we've got a featured podcast this week. The Amazing World of Talking Shiz.
Yes.
Yeah. They've been our featured podcast the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Their podcast is a bit like a radio show. They've no real topics. Everything's made up. And their opinions don't really matter. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the amazing world of shiz. We got a promo. And you can check it out right here.
In a world of utter randomness, one podcast stood out from the bunch. And it was The Amazing World of Talking Shiz. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Yeah, it's just mainly randomness.
And focus is
definitely
not being focused on at all.
No. Our podcast is definitely no theme at all. It's literally random and talk about literally everything and throwing in random jokes at any given time.
Yeah. We're on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So go ahead, tune in. New episodes weekly.
And we're international.
Very,
very well. So tune in. Follow us on Twitter. See you there.
There you go.
Yeah, boy.
Check them out. Check out the lads over at The Amazing World of Talking Shiz.
Nice one, lads.
We like that shiz.
We do.
And I think you will too.
Yeah.
Hey, you can get over to the website as well, and you can check out their latest episode, or one of their latest episodes. I think I think we need to update that. But there's links to their stuff, and you can subscribe, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Answer to the riddle. Have you worked it out? What is wrong? What is right and never wrong? What is always right and never wrong?
I could just only think me.
Because you're so vain.
Yeah. Me? Vain? Fuck off.
So vain. I always see him looking in the mirror. He's such a handsome
off. I'm
guy.
never flicking my hair.
He's always like looking in the mirror and stuff. So
yeah.
what is always right and never wrong? There's people there going, I know this.
And you know what?
You're not even thinking about it.
No, my mind's blank on it, to be honest.
Seriously,
my mind's just going. Just don't.
It is a bit. It isn't an easy one. I'll give you this one.
But I just can't work out the second part.
What is all? Well, no, it's the first bit that you got to concentrate on. I think.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, wait.
What is always right?
Yeah.
What's always right?
Yeah.
What is always right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's always right.
What else? Well,
I can't. No, I do.
Something that's always right is a right angle.
Okay.
So that's the answer.
Right angle.
Yeah, it's never wrong, is it?
Oh, you bastard!
Dickhead.
You know what I did even pop into my little.
So there you go. That's the answer for this week's riddle. What is always right and never wrong? A right angle.
You bastard.
Another one bites the dust.
You.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. Woohoo. Ha 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 ha. There you go.
Getting jiggy with it.
Getting jiggy with it.
Talking about getting jiggy with it.
Go on.
You heard about these two American lads.
Have you got more news or what?
Yeah, this is the fashion news.
Fashion news.
Yeah, I've got the fashion news to throw in. Two lads have started in Toronto. Started a business called Brokinis.
Why didn't they? No, but for some reason, I've all the way through the show when you said you had fashion news, I knew it was going to be some sort of mankini or thong or some male fucking pose and pouch.
Brokini, yeah.
Right.
Do you know what it is?
It's a fucking. It doesn't leave like much to the imagination by the sounds of it.
A pair of Speedos, right, with a strap from the top. That goes over one of your shoulders and down your back. That's it.
What, like so like a bit of a Tarzan?
So like if you put
that sounds like a Tarzan outfit.
Well, yeah, sort of, but a thin strap.
What, like I don't get it.
Yeah, you know, like a mankini.
Yeah,
like that, but take one of the straps away, but put like a Speedos down there instead of.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and it's like what the fuck and it's been going all over Twitter like fuck.
Seriously, well,
and it's like, is this a joke or what? And it's like, no.
I think it could be a joke because somebody actually, Saddam Hussein was listed on Wish the other day as being for £15 on Wish. So you know what I mean? These things do happen.
Hey, it might have been a very popular.
It might have just been a bullshit.
It might have been a popular name.
It was. He had a photo of Saddam Hussein. You can buy him on Wish for £15.
Who wants that back?
You can't, can you? It's a fucking... Really. Obviously, someone's put it up for a laugh. Well, getting on now. We'll give a big shout out to Patreons.
Yes.
If you want to be a Patreon, you know what to do. Go over to patreon.com/neverstraightanswer. Or there's a link on the website at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com.
Get over it.
Using my voice. Come on. Well, big shout out to Big J.
Yeah. Sleep in the corner.
Sleeping in the corner.
Horses
like
in
a
the
bear.
countryside.
Big shout out to Dunk Dunk.
Dunk Dunk. Yip. Yeah.
Big shout out to Jesse G.
Yes, Jesse. Woo.
Big shout out to Swoosh.
Swoosh, yeah, whoosh.
Big Tiny Elvis.
Don't forget that dog shit.
And a big shout out to Chantel
Yes,
W.
Chantel W.
Hope you're all good. Thank you so much for the support.
Yes.
And you can get into our Hall of Fame Patreon peeps.
Yes.
Too by signing up. It's that easy. And there's loads of incentives as well. So, you know, check it out.
Some out of it,
honourable mentions, though.
Yes.
We've got some cool honourable mentions.
Of course.
Harriet, thank you so much.
Yes, Harriet.
Gareth.
Yes, Gareth,
you're an absolute legend. Nice to hear you've been listening.
Yeah,
back on the road again.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Big Papa, Mr. Crabtree.
Yes, Mr. Crabtree.
The Duke of Marmalade himself.
Yes,
Brian,
yeah, man.
Jimmy Evans. Big shout out to Shawnee and Chris.
Yes, Shawnee and Chris.
Agent Coulson, hope you're doing well.
Mr. Coulson.
Big shout out to Mikey.
Mikey.
Big shout out to Liz.
Lizzie.
And Jake. and
Jay.
Oggy. There you go. Only a few
man.
podcast recommends this week because I didn't do a shout out for one. But big shout out to Tennish,
Yes,
Lady Justice,
yes,
Deep in History podcast, Killer Rabbit, Talking Shiz, Grief Burrito,
yes,
and loads of
many,
others.
many
more. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the show, guys.
Yes.
Well, if you've enjoyed it, listening to us talk about Men in Black, what are your conclusions? Let us know.
Yeah,
and if you've managed to make it all the way to the end of the show, we really do appreciate you.
We do.
Big shout out to our kind of associate for this episode, Love Hemp.
Yes, love it.
Love you guys.
Love the Hemp.
You can get in touch by emailing us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. We're available on Twitter at NASA_never. You can see us on Instagram.
You can,
At Neverstraightanswer.
Yeah. Oh,
And like I say, get over to Patreon at patreon.com/Neverstraightanswer. And that's it. That's the show.
That's it.
It's been a bit of a funny one.
It
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's made me smile.
It's been a good crack, Sam.
And we'll be back next week for episode 99.
Yes.
Wow. Only one more week to go before the mega 100th.
Yeah. Didn't get to see our pretty faces again.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You better get shaving your makeup on again.
I know, yeah. I need to get me brokini on.
You do.
Never mind. Right, well, on that note.
Yeah, get jiggy with it. With your man Kane.
Well, I've been Gaz.
And I've been saying.
Peace.
Out. Woohoo.